Oh my god, guys, look at this roller coaster. It looks freaking epic. And look at this stadium. It's huge. Just imagine you can build all of this using this mod. Epic. Hey, what is going on, guys? My name is Damien and welcome back to another Minecraft mod review. Today we're checking out the Instant Massive Structures mod. This mod basically allows you to instantly build very complex and huge structures in Minecraft by using one single craftable block. Definitely a pretty cool mod, guys, so let's see if we can take 1 second to smack that like button. Let's aim for 50 plus likes on this video. Also, thank you all for hitting the like goal on the last video and leaving your mod suggestions in the comments below. Anyways, guys, let's get started with today's mod. Alright, guys, so here we are in this super flat world where I'll be spawning down my structures. Of course, you can spawn down your structures in a normal Minecraft world, but I'll just be doing this for demonstration purposes. Alright, guys, so basically how this mod works is that there's about 45 craftable blocks added into Minecraft, and these blocks can basically be crafted by using the normal Minecraft crafting recipes. Once you place them down, you can spawn down your structures. So first off, guys, we have the magic pyramid block, and you can craft this by using 3 sandstone, a glowstone, and a torch. And when you place that down, you can see that it's just a normal block, and then when you right click it, you can spawn down the structure or activate it. So that's basically how all of the blocks work in this mod, guys. So I won't be explaining too much about the mechanics of it, but I will be explaining the structures itself and just showing off the cool, structures available in this mod. One thing I do want to mention, guys, before I spawn down this block, I know I'm talking a lot, all of the awesome and best structures will be saved for last because they require a lot more spawning and they're a lot more huge than the starter structures, so that's why they'll be included at the end of the video, so definitely stay tuned for that. Anyways, let's go ahead and just right click this to activate the block, and as you can see, it instantly spawns down our pyramid with inclusion of the sandstone, and there's a torch at the top, and if you go inside of the pyramid, which is hollow, there's a glowstone, so it definitely uses all of your resources and creates our pyramid. Even though you only used like 3 sandstone, it does give you a lot more sandstone in return. So that's basically the pyramid. If you go ahead and cycle over to the magic tower block, you can see how you could craft it using cobblestone, wood, and some logs. And if you go ahead and place this down and right click, you'll activate it, and you'll create this awesome kind of watchtower. And this tower is basically accessed by using the bouncy cake to bounce to the top, and it's a new block kind of added with this as well. So if you go ahead and just bounce on the cake, we'll get to the top of the tower eventually. I think we're hitting the top. Yeah, let's try that again. Do I jump? I have to step off of it first. So let's go ahead and just step onto it, and then we'll bounce at the top of that tower. And as you can see, it's a very cool tower for the price. Of course, you're basically using wood and cobblestone, which is very easy to acquire just at the start of the game. And you also get glass along with this, so that's definitely cool. And you also get some bouncy cake, which I'm not too sure if you could eat it, but you could definitely use it for some different things in Minecraft. Anyways, guys, moving on, we have the magic enchantment room. This is very useful if you want to just create an enchantment room, and it's basically bookshelves around an enchantment table. Of course, you'll need obsidian to craft your enchantment table and all that, but basically once you place it down and right click, you'll create this awesome enchantment room that's kind of surrounded by bookshelves. It's definitely a lot cheaper in the crafting recipes because you get a lot of bookshelves in return, and you can then use this to craft your items in the middle and get that extra XP boost or level boost. Yeah, anyways, moving on, we have the lighthouse block, and this is a very simple yet again crafting recipe. You can just craft using stone, glowstone, and some glass. But anyways, if you go ahead and right click this, you'll spawn down the structure, and as you can see, it's a very huge watchtower made out of stone. There's actually no ladder going to the top, but there's a torch at the very center. And if you go ahead and just fly up to the top, you can see that there's like this pile of glowstone, and there's glass surrounding it. So anyways, moving on, we have the magic house block, and the magic house block can be crafted by using some cobblestone along with glass and 2 wooden planks. If you go ahead and place that down, the block does look pretty cool, and if you right click, you'll spawn down a very basic house with a lot of very cool necessities that you need in the house. Really, you have a crafting table here, you have a furnace. The furnace doesn't really have anything, but it's still on. We have some cake for food, and if you open the chest, you actually have a bunch of random items sometimes. Here we have some mushroom stew along with some random blocks, a torch, and a steak. And if you go ahead and spawn this down again, I believe it changes, so let's spawn that down one more time, and as you can see, it basically changes. So this time it has stone pickaxes inside, torches, still has some food and some random blocks, also paintings. Anyways, guys, moving on, we have the magic treehouse block, and this is a very interesting one. If you go ahead and just check out the crafting recipe, it's basically use oak leaves with some wood, and once you have that, you just place it down, right click, and you spawn down this insanely massive tree. And this tree is not hollow, and it doesn't have a ladder to actually go up there. But if you go ahead and fly to the top, you can see that it's this weird looking tree that's basically like a gigantic version of a Minecraft tree. And if you go ahead and break into it, it's actually hollow at the top, so you could kind of make a house in here. Definitely pretty cool. But like I mentioned, there's no way or natural way to get up here, so you'll need to build a ladder yourself. So what this allows you to do, like I mentioned, is build pens. And if you go ahead and right click it, you can see that it builds a perfect pen for you to place your animals inside, and that's definitely very useful if you just don't have enough wood or fences. You could definitely craft this and get a lot more in return. Sometimes it does this, but basically what you have to do is just place another one down, and it just creates the entire thing for you. So sometimes you may need to use more than one in order to get that perfect structure, and it's basically the same thing with the nether, friends. Anyways guys, this is the wheat farm. If you go ahead and just right click, you can see that you get a ton of just wheat. Go ahead and just do that again. You can see it just expands it even more. Definitely pretty cool. Alright guys, so moving right along, again we have the storehouse block. The storehouse block is basically, if you guys don't know, is a place filled with chests. And if you go ahead and go into this storehouse, you can see that there's tons and tons of chests, including a crafting table as well as some glowstone in the corner and a furnace. And basically guys, all of these chests actually contain items. Yes, believe it or not, it contains random items. Anyways, moving on guys, we have the trap house block, and this is basically a house surrounded by cactus. If you go ahead and walk into it, it's supposed to, like, I'm not sure what that pressure plate is supposed to do, but yeah, it's a trapped house block. There's random items, of course, inside of the chest. It's basically the normal house that we saw a little bit earlier, except it's surrounded by cactus. Next, we have the magic trapped house block, and it's basically the same exact thing, except it replaces the cactus with the lava, and it's basically the basic magic house that we saw, like I mentioned again earlier in the video. Definitely pretty cool. Alright guys, moving on, we have the magic water slide block, and this is basically a water slide. If you go ahead and just right click, you can see it spawns down this huge water slide, and it doesn't have a base, so it's kind of like this. Alright, here we go. Let's do this, guys. There we go. Sometimes it's really fun to ride that water slide down. Moving on, we have the magic bunker block. This is basically a bunker in Minecraft. The block looks pretty interesting, very easy to craft, and once you craft it, you get this awesome bunker with 2 chests, one containing bow or some bows, as well as some arrows. And there's not a lot of arrows, but it's definitely a very cool little bunker here to protect yourself from your enemies. Alright guys, moving on, we have the magic arena block. This is a much larger structure, and we're getting into the larger structures at the moment. If you go ahead and just right click this, it'll spawn down an arena, and it's basically like a sand area surrounded with cobblestone. And by large structure, I meant like it takes up a lot of space. And anyways, moving on, we have the same type of block, but this one's a magic lava arena, and it's basically the same thing, except it's surrounded by lava at the middle, so you could basically see the difference in that. Next, we have the magic sugarcane farm, and this is basically the same as the magic wheat farm, except it's sugarcane. If you go ahead and just right click, place that down, you can see that we get tons and tons of sugarcane. This of course is very, very useful because sugarcane is not really that easy to find unless you're in the proper biome. So say for instance you're in a tundra or in the jungle, it's very hard to find sugarcane, or maybe in the highlands or amplified world or whatever. You guys basically get that. Anyways guys, we're moving right along. We have the magic melon farm, basically the same concept, and you just get a bunch of melons. This one is definitely really useful, as well as the pumpkin one is hecka useful, because come on guys, these are things that you definitely would want tons of in Minecraft because they give you a ton of food. Moving along, we have the magic prison block. The magic prison block spawns on this insanely huge prison that has various different rooms you can explore. It has lights inside, and kind of like different chambers, different floors, and you can easily explore this and kind of roleplay with your friends if you're using some multiplayer server in order to kind of imprison them or imprison mobs. Definitely pretty cool. Anyways guys, moving right along, again we have the magic prison block, but this time it's made out of obsidian, a little bit more impenetrable, and I kind of spawned that over my farm, but it's basically the same exact thing, except it's like reblocked, and it's basically using obsidian, so your prisoners will not be able to escape. Moving along guys, we have the magic roller coaster block, and a roller coaster block is basically a small fairly fun roller coaster. Let's go ahead and just ride this really quick here, and you basically just place down the minecart here, and you kind of like push yourself towards one of these. So let's just go here, and as you can see, it basically shoots you up. A very fun and simple roller coaster. Is actually a much larger one later on in the video. Definitely stay tuned to see that, because that one is freaking insane and very, very detailed. Definitely pretty cool. So that's basically our mini roller coaster, and like I mentioned, we'll get to the big one a little bit later. Okay guys, so our next block we have the skyscraper block, and this one's actually a pretty huge block. So let's go ahead and spawn this down, right click, and as you can see guys, that is insanely massive. Look at that. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 floors that are very, very huge. As you can see, it's basically made out of stone and glass. Moving along, we have the torch pattern block, which is basically a bunch of torches that you could place onto the ground that gives like the area light. Very useful for mining and just placing down light sources very quick. Anyways, guys, moving along, we have the airplane block. And I keep saying moving along, I need to stop saying that. Anyways, the airplane block is basically a block in which if you right click, it spawns on an airplane right above that area. And as you can see, it's a pretty cool airplane. You could go inside of it if you like. There's really nothing in here besides redstone, but very cool, and definitely saves a lot of time if you want to build an airplane in the sky yourself. So this is the magic boat block, guys. If you go ahead and right click, this will spawn down an awesome boat, which I recommend spawning next to water because it looks pretty weird on land, but as you can see, fairly cool. It has 2 chests in the back filled with like lifeboats and a compass, and then we have a crafting table, as well as we have like the inner of the ship. I'm not really sure what part of the ship you would call this, but it's very cool. It's like a little mini house in here, and there's another chest filled with some random items. There's 2 furnaces for cooking food and cooking fish if you catch any. The next block we have, guys, is the house block. This is actually a different house block, and it's actually a lot better because if you go ahead and just right click and place that down, you can see it spawns on a much larger house that's more similar to like a winter cottage, and it has really no windows, and it's covered with snow blocks, as well as it has a tree right at the center. It has some flames to keep you warm, as well as it has this huge window at the back and some chests. Whoops, it looks like when I right click to open that chest, it actually crashes my game, and I think that happens on the first time, but the second time it really doesn't happen, as you can see. So yeah, that's just one thing to mention, but specifically that's only for me. I'm not saying it would happen to you, but these chests are actually empty, and I don't want to check this one because I don't want my game to crash again. But that's basically the winter cottage, or the normal, or the second type of magic house available in this mod. The next block we have is the plane block, and this is actually a different plane compared to the flying one in the sky. It's actually a more detailed version that spawns onto the ground. So if you go ahead and just right click and spawn that down, you can see that we have this very detailed fighter jet, and I believe it's a Thunderbolt. And as you can see, there's lava inside the engines, which makes it look very, very cool, as well as obsidian on the wings, and just light inside of the plane itself. And there's like some space to like move around and walk. Definitely awesome. Alright, guys, so the next block we have is the dungeon block, and this basically creates a artificial dungeon just like the normal Minecraft dungeon. And as you can see, it's, if you could get out of this block, you can see that it's this mossy cobblestone mixed with normal cobblestone, and there's a pig spawner or a monster spawner at the center of that, and there's also 2 chests which contain random items. And this one actually has a music disc, or several music discs, which is kind of useful if you like music. Next, guys, we have the huge pyramid block, which is, compared to the first pyramid or the first ancient structure you saw in this mod, guys, it's insanely huge and very, very, very cool. Let's go ahead and just spawn this down, guys. Actually, to craft this, compared to the first one, you actually need a diamond along with some gold ingots, but it's definitely worth it, guys. So let's go ahead and just right click and spawn this down. It might lag a little because it's spawning in a very huge structure, but once it does, guys, you can see how awesome this is. And as you guys know, pyramids are very huge in real life, and they're actually the tombs of the pharaohs. And what's cool about this is that it does have an entrance right at the front, and when you enter the entrance, you could actually go into it and kind of explore what the pyramid has to offer. I might be lagging here. That's mainly because there's like a lot of stuff going on inside this pyramid, because this is a huge, gigantic maze. I just want to mention, guys, if you could find your way to the top of the pyramid, if you guys could find your way to the top of the pyramid without cheating, I will definitely like congratulate you on that, because that's really insane. I flew around in here, kind of cheating and jumping over the lava and stuff for like about, I would say, 20 to 25 minutes trying to find my way to the top just for the sake of fun. And this just goes insanely far, and it goes like underground in different directions, and you just lose your way each and every time. So as you can see here, I have like 4 different choices in which direction I could travel, and after I travel inside one specific direction, I'm just met up with even more choices. So of course my obvious choice would be to go up to go to the pyramid, but this actually takes me back down, is what I figured out. But anyways, if you guys want to cheat, you could just go ahead and just use creative mode, fly to the very top, and at the top of the pyramid, or you don't even need to use creative mode, you just need to jump up kind of on the outside of these stairs and just go to the top and then break the top block, or the 2 top blocks, so you'll fall down into the top of the pyramid. And at the top of the pyramid, there's some diamonds, and there's some gold, and there's just an awesome bed, and it's a little bit more rewarding if you actually get up here without cheating, because the maze is pretty fun, I would say, and there's a lot of parkour inside here as well. Definitely one of my favorite structures in this mod, and a lot better than I would expect it to be. Normally you would think it's just a empty basic pyramid that's just copy and pasted, but it's actually a pretty well thought out kind of fun thing to experience with this mod. Moving on, guys, we have the castle tower block, and hopefully you don't start lagging soon, because as you can see, I spawned on a pyramid and it's really making me lag. But anyways, if you go ahead and put down this castle block, you can see after we right click, it'll spawn down this huge castle right behind me. It looks freaking cool, I would say. It looks pretty dang cool. It has like one major tower and then two towers kind of coming off of it. There's some stairs at the bottom, there's some windows, and it just looks pretty awesome and medieval to add to your world. Very easy to craft, guys. You could easily make this using cobblestone and wood. That is so OP. We need diamonds in these crafting recipes, guys. Look how easy this is to craft. I mean, come on, this is just ridiculous. So this is like one of the first or the second massive structure in the actual mod. I know it's called the massive structures mod, but most of them are just regular instant structures. But anyways, you've seen a pyramid and you've seen this. There's definitely a lot more in store, guys. Look at that. It looks freaking epic. And you can just make like 10 of these, because it's really easy to craft. Alright, guys, so the next block we have is a haunted house block. It's a massive structure, and when you place it down, it looks like soul sand, like blue soul sand. And this is very interesting. It's basically like a ruined house, and then there's like a very creepy entrance. There's like a ladder that goes up to the top, which always seems to break, and after you do that, you could like break into the house. And I'm not sure why you want to break into a haunted house, but once you do that, you break into the house. There's like a bed here. There's like really dark hallways. You actually need like a torch to go through it. Let's grab a torch right there. And if you just hold a torch in our hand, you can see that if I walk around, there's like a lot of cool things in here. Definitely pretty cool. And if you guys like haunted houses, or if you just want to decorate your world, it's definitely a pretty cool mod. There's also a chest in here that contains nothing, apparently. Sometimes it has items, sometimes it really doesn't. So that's definitely pretty cool. I could see a lot of people using this to decorate their world. Alright, guys, so the last block we have for this set is the magic tower block. And the magic tower block is another tower that's similar to the glass one we just spawned, but it's a lot more detailed, guys. Check this out. Let's go ahead and right click this. We're going to be lagging for quite a bit on this one because it's spawning down a massive structure. As you can tell by the title of this video, we're getting into very large structures of this mod. Hopefully you can still hear me at this point, because my game is about to crash, but it's still loading and still building that structure or spawning it down. So as you can see, this structure is completely made out of kind of quartz and ice, and really has no door. But once you go inside, like, it's a very huge open area. I'm not too sure why or what you will do with all of the space, but you do have like guys, I'm saying it's twice the height or the height of the normal freaking tower. I don't even know how to explain it, so I'm just like looking at it and it looks freaking awesome, and my accent's kind of kicking up at that point in time too. So as you can see, there's like a lot of floors. I would say like 10, probably more. It looks like 12 or something like that. But anyways, it goes way above the clouds. As you can see, guys, we're not even there at the top yet. And if you think it's just a normal square block, think again. Let's fly over to the other side and you can see the beauty of this building. Look at that, guys. That looks freaking epic. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. And there's the top of the building. So as you can see, it's not this basic cheap building that's just copied and pasted all the way to the top. It's actually a very cool and unique design that's added into Minecraft. One of my favorite structures and one of the largest in the mod itself. Alright, guys, so the final sets of structures in this mod, and some of my favorites are here, and these are the magic house blocks. The first one we have here is this huge massive house with a farm, and it's basically like an apartment complex, and you basically craft it by using only 5, 6, 7 wooden planks, guys. That's nothing. That's like 2 logs. You create this awesome kind of mixture of a farm with sugarcane, pumpkins, melons, as well as carrots and wheat, and like everything, guys. It's really insane. There's also like a door at the back there, and this is actually the front of the house, and as you can see, it looks freaking epic, guys. Look how many floors and room and space there is. It's just really detailed. I think it's really OP. I think you should at least be able to trade a full diamond block in order to get this. But anyways, there's multiple floors of the building, like I mentioned, and they're all very well decorated, as well as they do have a lot of space. And if you go ahead and go all the way up to the attic, it's like the main room, and this is just a very epic view. As you can see, you can just look out your window and see all of the awesome things of the Minecraft world. But there's actually one more floor, which I thought this was the attic, but I guess this is the attic. And this is a little bit more cozy. I guess you could put all your valuables at the very top. And yeah, it's just a very awesome structure, guys. It's very cheap to build too. There's also another one called the Magic House Block, and it's the same exact name, but it's purple this time, and it's the exact same thing, except if you're scared of your house burning down, you could actually have this one made out of, or well, actually it's the opposite. If you're scared of your house burning down, yeah, don't get this one, because this one is made out of wool and logs, and someone can easily grief you. It has a smaller farm but with the same items, and I would say that one is better because it's less likely to burn down and also looks better. And this is basically the back of this house, and this one actually has more space. That has one extra floor, as you guys can tell. So this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that one only has 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, well, that one has 5 too, but this one's a little bit taller. I don't know. I guess the other one is just supremely better than this one. But I guess if you like logs and wool, you would like this one. This one actually looks pretty gross, I would say. I'm not too sure. It has less windows. I don't know. I just like the other one better, okay? Whatever. I have an opinion. Yeah, it's basically the same type of structure, except this one has like 2 closets over here. Very interesting. And if you go to the very top, the attic, it's actually a lot more spacious. Like I mentioned, it's a little bit taller than the other buildings, which is why I kind of mentioned that it had like an extra floor, but it doesn't, apparently. Anyways, guys, moving on, we have the floating sphere block, and we actually need an extra block in order to kind of spawn this down. Since we're on a super flat, let's go ahead and just build up and spawn this block down. So if you go ahead and just build up, I think that's enough. We could spawn down a sphere. If you go ahead and just right click, spawn that down by simply right clicking, you spawn a sphere filled with water and surrounded by glass. I'm not too sure why you'll want this in your world, but it's there if you need it, guys. So that's basically how it would spawn. It spawns basically like land. There's like sand at the bottom, and as you can see, if it was like on your regular Minecraft world, you would have like an artificial pool of water wherever you put this at. So I guess you could use it for like an indoor gigantic swimming pool, and you could put the boat instant structure in there as well. Alright, guys, moving on, we have the instant roller coaster, or the massive roller coaster, and this is basically a huge roller coaster added, and one of my favorite structures. Guys, look at this. This is epic. This huge, gigantic, very detailed roller coaster probably took this guy so long to build this. That's just freaking insane. And you could just easily use like a minecart here and just go to the top to ride this. Very simple, very easy. Let's just grab that, and I'll fly above so you guys can see it. Definitely pretty cool. Look at that, guys. You just fly right here to the start section. You place down your minecart, sit in your minecart, hit that button, and then press your W to kind of ride off. And as you can see, you're riding this awesome roller coaster, guys. Look at this. This looks so freaking epic. Oh my gosh. Oh, did I fall to my death? Whatever. I'm not too sure what happened there, but I guess I fell off the top. Oh no, that's the end of the roller coaster. I'm supposed to go the other way. All right. Anyways, that's basically a roller coaster. I'm not too sure why that didn't work, but definitely cool indeed to decorate your world and just spawn down that structure. Very cheap to craft too, by the way. You just use like some fences along with wood, a powered rail, some redstone torches, and a minecart. Very cheap compared to the actual resources that goes into the structure. Like I mentioned, very kind of OP. Alright, guys, so the last structure we have is the stadium block, and the stadium block takes up to 5 minutes to spawn down. So I'll be flying all the way over here to give it enough space to spawn down, and then I'll cut back to the video once it has spawned, because it's definitely gonna take a long time. And as you can see, I'm already lagging because of all these structures spawning on my world. And you cannot actually craft this at the moment, but it is available in the creative menu. And let's go ahead and spawn this down and see what happens. And if I go ahead, it asks you to right click twice because it tells you or warns you that there's a 5-minute waiting period. So guys, here it is, the epic stadium that took about 5 minutes to load. As you guys can see, it is very detailed. There's tons and tons of seats. It is insanely massive. And just imagine, guys, this is all spawned with one block. It has a soccer field right at the middle of it, or a football field, whatever you want to call it, as well as there's like this huge jumbotrons, and it just looks really insane. If you guys are wondering why there's a roller coaster in here, it's mainly because like I spawned the block all the way down there, but it's so huge that it kind of engulfed the roller coaster into it. So we have like a roller coaster inside an epic stadium. As you guys can see, it looks freaking epic. Oh my gosh. Anyways, guys, I think it wraps up today's mod spotlight. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Take 1 second to drop a like or a comment down below. I definitely do appreciate your support. If you guys want to see more of my Minecraft mod spotlights, click on the videos on your screen or in the playlist link below in the description. Anyways, guys, this was Team Twist, and I'll see you later.